Hey everyone, welcome back to Vital Health Insights, the channel where we break down real health science that actually impacts your daily life. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because today's video could literally change how you feel every single day. Guys, if you're over 50 and you drink your coffee a certain way, you're unknowingly harming your prostate right now. But before you throw away your favorite mug, let me tell you something that's going to surprise you. It's not the coffee itself that's the problem, it's how you're consuming it. I'm going to share 3 golden rules with you today that are going to completely change everything. And trust me, the third one, it's going to blow your mind. So here's the thing. I've been studying men's health for years, and one topic keeps coming up over and over again: coffee and prostate health. And I get it. For a lot of you, coffee isn't just a drink, it's a ritual. It's that moment of peace before the chaos of the day begins. Maybe it's the only real moment you get to yourself. But let me tell you a story. A few weeks ago, I met John. He's a 68-year-old retired teacher, absolutely loves his coffee. 3, 4, sometimes 5 espressos a day. And for the past few months, he'd been dealing with something frustrating: waking up multiple times at night to use the bathroom, feeling like he could never completely empty his bladder. You know that feeling? John was convinced it was all because of his coffee. He told me, "I'd rather give up anything else than my morning cup." Well, here's the good news. John didn't have to give up either. But to understand why, we need to talk about what's actually going on in your body. Let's get real for a second. Your prostate is a small gland, about the size of a walnut, sitting right below your bladder. It surrounds your urethra, which is the tube that carries urine out of your body. Its main job? Producing part of the fluid in semen. Pretty straightforward, right? But here's where things get tricky. As you age, this little gland tends to grow. We call it benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. Guys, this is as common as getting gray hair. About 50% of men over 60 deal with it to some degree. The symptoms? Difficulty urinating, constant urgent feeling, getting up multiple times at night, sometimes pain in the pelvic area. Sound familiar? This is where coffee enters our conversation, and this is where things get interesting. So, is coffee good or bad for your prostate? Well, like most things in medicine, the answer isn't black and white. It's more like shades of coffee with milk, if you'll excuse the pun. Let me break this down for you, because what I'm about to tell you might actually surprise you. First, let's talk about the good stuff, because yes, there is good news here, and it's backed by solid science. Coffee is chemically fascinating. We're talking over 1,000 different compounds, and some of them, they're genuinely beneficial for your health. Point number 1, antioxidants. Coffee is loaded with these. Think of antioxidants as your body's defense system against what we call oxidative stress. Imagine your cells rusting over time, like an old car. Oxidative stress is the rust. Antioxidants are the rust protection. And chronic oxidative stress, it plays a role in developing serious conditions, including prostate cancer. Point number 2, polyphenols. These are plant compounds with remarkable anti-inflammatory properties. Chronic inflammation in the prostate is a significant risk factor for more serious problems down the line. Polyphenols in coffee help reduce that inflammation. It's like having a tiny firefighter permanently stationed in your body. But here's where it gets really interesting. Studies have shown something incredible. A meta-analysis published in the British Medical Journal, looking at over 50,000 men followed for several years, found that those who consumed between 2 and 4 cups of coffee per day had a 20 to 30% reduced risk of developing aggressive forms of prostate cancer compared to those who didn't drink coffee at all. 20 to 30%, guys, that's huge. Point number 3, caffeine itself. The same molecule that wakes you up in the morning also has protective properties. It stimulates certain enzymes that help your liver eliminate toxins more effectively. A well-functioning liver means fewer waste products circulating in your blood, which means less stress on all your organs, including your prostate. Pretty amazing, right? Now, before you go brewing your 5th cup of the day, hold on, because there's a flip side to this story. And understanding this could be the difference between enjoying your coffee and suffering because of it. Let's talk about what can go wrong, because caffeine, it has a dark side. Problem number 1. It's a diuretic and a bladder irritant. What does that mean in real terms? It stimulates your bladder and increases urine production. For a man who already has an enlarged prostate pressing on the urethra, this is like pouring gasoline on a fire. You'll feel an even stronger urge to urinate, and you'll have even more difficulty doing it properly. I had a patient, Michael, 72 years old. He told me he was getting up 5 times at night to use the bathroom. 5 times! The poor guy wasn't sleeping properly, neither was his wife. When I asked him how much coffee he drank, he said, 3 or 4 during the day and a little espresso after dinner to help digestion. That's when I understood the problem. Evening coffee, guys, that's your enemy if you have prostate issues. Problem number 2, coffee's acidity. Coffee is acidic, we all know that, but this acidity doesn't just irritate your stomach, it can also irritate your bladder and urethra. Chronic irritation leads to inflammation, and we've already established that chronic inflammation is a risk factor for prostate problems. Problem number 3, and people don't talk about this enough, dehydration. Coffee increases urine production, which can dehydrate you if you're not compensating by drinking enough water. Concentrated urine is more irritating to your urinary tract. It's a vicious cycle. And here's something a lot of you forget. What you put in your coffee matters, because honestly, guys, if you're adding 3 sugars, a huge dose of cream, and maybe some whipped cream on top, we're not really talking about coffee's benefits anymore. Refined sugar and excess saturated fats promote inflammation throughout your entire body. You're completely canceling out the benefits. So where does that leave us? Coffee isn't poison, but it's not a magic potion either. It's a complex beverage with effects that depend enormously on how you consume it. And this is exactly where my years of research and working with hundreds of men comes into play. I'm about to give you my 3 golden rules for drinking coffee without putting your prostate at risk. These rules are based on the latest scientific studies and, more importantly, on what actually works in real life. Rule number 1, quantity. Guys, it's all about dosage. Let me break this down by age and condition. If you're under 50 with no particular symptoms, you can handle 3 to 4 cups, which is about 300 to 400 milligrams of caffeine. Between 50 and 65, with the first signs of prostate aging, drop it to 2 to 3 cups maximum, about 200 to 300 milligrams. And if you're over 65 or already experiencing urinary symptoms, don't exceed 1 to 2 cups per day, which is 100 to 200 milligrams. And listen, guys, when I say cup, I'm talking about a real cup of about 5 ounces, not your giant 16-ounce mug. Be honest with yourself. Rule number 2, timing. This is absolutely crucial. Drink your coffee between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. maximum. Why? Because caffeine has a half-life of about 5 to 6 hours in your body. If you have coffee at 4 p.m., half of that caffeine will still be in your system at 9 p.m. And guess what happens? You're going to wake up 3 times at night to use the bathroom. Your prostate will thank you for respecting this timing. And guys, this is important. Never drink coffee after dinner. I know it's a deeply ingrained habit for many of you, that little espresso after dessert. But if you have prostate issues or insomnia, this is the first thing to eliminate. Replace it with herbal tea or even a decaf that tastes like coffee.
Not all coffee is created equal, guys. Old-fashioned, filtered coffee, the kind your parents made with a drip coffee maker, that's the best for your prostate. Why? Because the filter traps certain lipid compounds that can increase cholesterol and inflammation. Espresso, on the other hand, is more concentrated in caffeine and more acidic. It's not forbidden, but it's less optimal. And instant coffee, the powdered kind? Avoid it as much as possible. The manufacturing process destroys most of the antioxidants, and they often add additives that aren't great for you. Bottom line, if you have to choose, go with good ground coffee, filtered the old-fashioned way. Now let's talk about what you can add to your coffee. Milk? Sure, why not, but in moderation. A splash of whole or semi-skimmed milk is acceptable. Avoid industrial coffee creamers loaded with palm oil and sugar. Sugar? If you can go without it, that's ideal. Otherwise, half a teaspoon maximum, or use stevia if you really need sweetness. And here's a bonus tip I give all my patients. For every cup of coffee, drink 2 glasses of water in the hours that follow. This compensates for the diuretic effect, dilutes the acidity, and helps your prostate function better. It's simple, but incredibly effective. Now you might be wondering about other drinks. What about hot chocolate, for example? Good question. Cocoa does contain caffeine, but much less than coffee. A cup of hot chocolate has about 5 to 10 milligrams of caffeine versus 80 to 100 for coffee. So yes, you can drink it, but watch out for the sugar. If you're using sweetened chocolate powder, that's where the problem is. Go for pure cocoa, at least 70%, lightly sweetened with a bit of honey or stevia. And tea? Excellent choice. Green tea especially is packed with antioxidants, particularly catechins that have protective effects on the prostate. It contains caffeine, but less than coffee, about 30 to 50 milligrams per cup. You can have 2 to 3 cups a day without any problem. Some of my patients have completely replaced their morning coffee with green tea, with excellent results. All right, let me give you something practical. Here are the warning signs that should make you immediately reduce your coffee consumption. Pay attention, guys, because this is important. If you're getting up more than twice a night to urinate, that's a signal. If you're feeling burning when you urinate, warning. If you have pain in the pelvic or perineal area, red flag. If you're having trouble falling asleep or your heart races for no reason, reduce the dose. And if you feel like you never completely empty your bladder, it's time to see a doctor and reconsider your coffee consumption. Remember John, my patient I mentioned at the beginning? Well, after our consultation, I explained everything I just told you. We put together a simple plan. Maximum 2 coffees a day, 1 in the morning around 9 a.m., 1 after lunch around 1 p.m., and that's it. Filtered coffee with no added sugar, just a splash of milk. And most importantly, 2 glasses of water after each coffee. 3 months later, John came back to see me. The results? He was only getting up once a night instead of 3 or 4 times. His urinary symptoms had significantly decreased. And you know what? He was still enjoying his morning coffee just as much. Because ultimately, guys, it's not about giving up what you love. It's about doing it intelligently. Listen, I'm going to be straight with you. Prostate issues are part of male aging. We can't escape it. But that doesn't mean you have to accept living with bothersome symptoms. You don't have to get up 5 times a night. You don't have to plan all your trips based on bathroom proximity. And you certainly don't have to give up your coffee. What I'm asking from you is intelligence and moderation. Count the points. 1. The quantity appropriate for your age. 2. The right timing during the day. 3. The appropriate type of coffee. Add good hydration to that, and you've got the recipe for continuing to enjoy your favorite beverage without compromising your health. And please, listen to your body. If something's not right, if you notice changes in your urinary habits, don't sit there worrying alone. Talk to a doctor. A simple exam, a few questions, and we can already reassure you or point you towards the right solutions. Because here's what strikes me after all these years: the number of men who suffer in silence. The prostate is still a taboo topic for many. We don't dare talk about it, not even to doctors. And meanwhile, quality of life gradually deteriorates. So if you recognize yourself in what I've described today, if you have urinary symptoms that bother you, don't wait. It's that simple. And keep in mind that prostate issues aren't a life sentence. There are so many solutions available today, from simple lifestyle changes like what we just discussed to effective medications, and in some cases, minimally invasive procedures that can change your life. But it all starts with talking about it. All right, guys, I hope this video has shed some light on coffee and prostate health. Here's the essential takeaway. Coffee is not your enemy, but it's how you consume it that makes all the difference. Follow the rules, listen to your body, and continue savoring your morning cup with complete peace of mind. Take care of yourself, take care of your prostate, and remember that every choice counts. Taking care of yourself isn't about giving up what you love. It's about learning to find balance. And believe me, balance is the key to everything. Before you go, I need your help. If this video gave you valuable information, hit that like button right now. It really helps us reach more people who need to hear this. And if you're not already subscribed, what are you waiting for?
Click that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next health insights. We're building a community of people who take their health seriously, and I want you to be part of it. Now here's what I want you to do. Leave a comment below and tell me, have you noticed any changes in your urinary habits as you've gotten older? And did coffee play a role? I read every single comment, and your experiences help other viewers too. And if you know someone who could benefit from this information, maybe your dad, your brother, your friend, share this video with them. Because honestly, we're all in this together, and we might as well help each other out, right? All right, guys, take care, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, your health is in your hands, one cup at a time.